The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Bat-Supe, the never nutritious, definitely delicious podcast dedicated to the old-time radio adventures of Superman and the dynamic duo. Buckle your utility belts for lots of impatient whining, plenty of distracting interruptions, and annoying teenage behavior galore. Before we get to today's adventure, let's pause for this important message.
Fellows and girls, we here at Bat-Supe want to remind you that gratitude is an important part of any relationship, even when that relationship has come to an end. Yes, sir. There's no better way to part than as friends. Like, for example, the relationship we had with the Blammo Company. They were our manufacturers of choice for all the swell prizes you've been getting inside specially marked cans of never nutritious, definitely delicious Bat-Supe for all these years. But due to circumstances beyond our control and a few strongly worded letters from a few key government officials, well, we had to take on a new partner. So, as we bid Blammo a fond farewell and wish them all the best, we want to offer a warm welcome to our new friends with a top-secret military contracting firm known only as codename Slingshot. And boy, oh boy, do they already seem to be on the beam when it comes to making the Bat-Supe experience even more exciting. Why, in just a few days, they've already taken the Bat-Supers membership kit to neato-rific new heights. Stay tuned to Bat-Supe, and you'll learn about all the cool new gizmos and gadgets they've added. And if you're already a Bat-Super, don't you worry. You'll be able to get your hands on these new kits, too. Details are coming next time, so stay tuned to Bat-Supe, available wherever fine podcasts are sold. Secrets don't make friends.
Before we get to today's brand new story, let's get you caught up on what happened last time on The Adventures of Superman.
Great Scott, I just remembered.
You seem distressed. What is it?
Well, I have no idea how long I've been gone from Earth this time. It must have been several days I spent traveling through space looking for Apollo and then getting it back into its orbit. There was no day or night in space, so I lost track of time.
Oh, what does this matter, Superman?
Matters a great deal, Lalo, because I left a letter to be given to a friend, a man named Perry White, at the end of the week in case I wasn't back on Earth by then. And that letter reveals my double identity.
Your what?
I do not understand.
Well, there's no time to explain now. But unless I get back to Earth before Mr. White gets that letter, well, it'll be just too bad. Goodbye and good luck, Thane, Lalo, all of you.
Oh, wait.
Don't go yet. We haven't properly thanked you.
Don't bother. Perhaps I'll see you again. Take care of yourselves. Up and away!
Leaping above the crowd of grateful Apollonians, Superman pauses briefly to wave to them, then streaks away through the wrecked wall of the palace and turns toward the distant Earth, worried that the secret of his double identity may already have been exposed. And Superman has good reason to be concerned, as we'll find out in just a moment. So stand by. It is noon in Metropolis. Dr. John Millison has just arrived at the Daily Planet. Ushered into Editor Perry White's office, the famous scientist hands White an envelope, heavily sealed with wax.
What's this, Dr. Millison? Before Superman left Earth the last time, he gave me this envelope. He asked me to guard it carefully, and in the event that something happened to him and he failed to return to Earth by the end of the week, he said I was to give the envelope to you.
Oh, he did, eh?
Yes. The week expired last night at midnight. I waited a few extra hours, hoping against hope that Superman would return. But, as you know, he didn't.
No, and neither did poor Clark Kent. Poor chaps. I wonder why Superman left this letter for me.
I don't know, but it's probably very important. Why don't you open it?
I will. Oh, wait a minute. Lois Lane and Jim Olsen should be here when I open it. And they were as close to Kent and Superman as I was. Oh, Miss Blackback, call Jim Olsen and Lois Lane. Tell them to come into my office at once. I can't imagine what could be in this letter, Dr. Millison.
Neither can I, but it should be very...
I'll find out right now.
Puzzled, Perry White rips open the heavily sealed envelope in which, as we know, is the letter from Superman, revealing his identity as the mild-mannered newspaper reporter Clark Kent. The secret Superman planned to reveal only after his death. is Superman's most cherished secret, which he has protected so many times with all his great powers, to be revealed now, at the very moment when the Man of Steel is rocketing through space from the planet Apollo. We know that not even Superman can travel the many millions of miles through space in time to prevent Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, and Lois Lane from reading the confession White now holds in his hands. So what will happen?
And now, Bat-Supe presents today's adventure. Part 1 of The Secret Letter, as originally broadcast on November 25th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents The Adventures of Superman. Today, while Superman rockets back to Earth, the carefully guarded secret of his double identity stands on the brink of revealment. Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. You know, I've been so excited about that brand new series of comic buttons Kellogg's Pep is putting out. Why, I've been busy as anything all weekend, and I've rounded up all the fellows and girls in our neighborhood to see if they've found any of these new Pep comic buttons yet and how they like them. And believe me, they like them. Why, you should hear what the kids are saying about these nifty new prizes. They're honeys, they say. They're terrific. They're the best-looking things I ever saw, said one fella. Yes, sir, everybody's mighty enthusiastic about this brand-new series of funny paper characters like Tess Trueheart and the Little Moose and Superman, of course. And you'll be enthusiastic, too. The buttons are made of gleaming white enameled metal, you know, with the picture standing out clear and sharp. You'll want to collect all 18 of them. And you can, sure, easy as anything. You don't send in any money, not even a box top. And you can't buy them anywhere. All you do is to ask Mom to stock up on that Sunshine cereal, Kellogg's Pep, and look for your comic button inside every package. Look for some mighty delicious eating, too, because Pep is loaded with catchy, sunny flavor, a golden toasted flavor that's got come on in every bite. Get your good eating and exciting prizes, gang, from P.E.P., the Sunshine Cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Now the Adventures of Superman. After saving the planet Apollo from destruction and seeing the inhabitants under the leadership of his friend Thane freed from slavery, Superman suddenly remembered that he had left a sealed letter revealing his identity as Clark Kent with Dr. Millison, the famous scientist, back on Earth. In the event that Superman had not returned to Earth by a certain day, the letter was to be given to Editor Perry White. Saying a hasty goodbye to the Apollonians, Superman started back to Earth millions of miles away. But meanwhile, in Metropolis, Dr. Millison had brought the letter to the Daily Planet. And as we continue now in Perry White's office, the gray-haired editor is opening the wax-sealed envelope as cub reporter Jimmy Olsen enters. Listen.
Here I am, Chief. Oh, hello, Dr. Millison.
Hello, Jim.
You want me, Chief?
Yes, Jim. Dr. Millison just brought this letter from Superman.
From Superman?
Yes, you see...
Flippin' lizard, you mean he's okay? What about Mr. Kent? Where are
Now,
they?
wait a minute. Keep your shirt on.
Let me see the letter.
Will you wait a minute? Wait till I open the envelope.
Gee whiz,
What? Well, what's this?
What? Let me see.
Will you stop grabbing?
But I want...
It's another envelope, also sealed. And it's addressed to Perry White, Lois Lane, and Jim Olsen.
Well, that's me.
To be opened in the event of my death.
His death? Oh, gosh. Poor Mr. Kent. I thought you just got the letter in the mail and that Superman and Mr. Kent were okay.
I wish that were so. Unfortunately, it isn't. Superman and Kent have apparently been lost in space.
Oh, gee whiz.
I begged Superman not to go this time, but he wouldn't listen to me. Well, you'd better open that letter. He said it was very important. Well, I'm trying to, but the flap is sealed with wax like the other outer envelope. I'll get my letter opener. Oh, wait a minute. Well, this is addressed to Lois, too. Where is she?
Well, I don't know. She can see it later. Open it, please.
We can wait an extra minute, Jim. Now, you go get her.
Oh, all right.
I can't imagine why Superman left this letter for Miss Lane and Jim and me, Dr. Millison.
Do you suppose this could be his will? No, I asked him that, but he said it was something much more important.
That's so. Well, in that case, I'll open it right... Oh, got it. Now what? Hello? Who? Oh, yes, he's here.
For you, Dr. Millison.
Oh, thank you. Dr. Millison speaking. Oh, yes, Dr. Bloomfield. How are you?
Miss Lane went on that Hannigan story, Mr. White.
Easy, Jim, easy. Dr. Millison was on the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? Are you sure?
Look, Chief, we don't have to wait for Lois to open Superman's letter, do we?
Good
No,
heavens, but...
since Superman told Dr. Millison it was very important, we'll open it at once.
Oh, swell. Go ahead.
I need my letter opener, though, but I can't seem to find it.
That's amazing. I can't believe it.
Oh, here it is, Chief.
Huh? Oh, thanks. We'll just open this now and see what it says.
Oh, hurry up. I can hardly wait.
Yes, of course. I'll come at once.
I'm getting the wax off the flap now.
Mr. White,
Yeah?
Dr. Bloomfield just called from the observatory. He believes he's sighted the lost planet Apollo.
What?
Yes, it has apparently retreated from the sun and seems to be revolving in an orbit of its own space once more, which would indicate that Superman must have saved the planet.
Good Godfrey.
Gleeps. Does that mean he and Mr. Kent are okay?
I should say it might very well mean that. If it is really Apollo that Dr. Bloomfield has sighted.
If. But you just
I
said...
said Dr. Bloomfield believes he sighted Apollo.
Oh.
However, there are one or two details which need confirmation. I'm going to the observatory now. You two care to come with me?
Do we? And
Why,
how?
of course we do. Why, this may mean that Kent and Superman, too, are alive. Come on, Doctor. Come on. Let's go.
Now, do you see, Dr. Millison? Do you see?
Yes, Dr. Bloomfield. I believe it is Apollo. I'm a little puzzled.
Please, may I see?
Keep away from the telescope, Jim.
As I recall, there was a series of peak formations across the northern bridge of the planet. But I don't see them now.
That troubles me, too. There was such a formation.
You mean it isn't Apollo after all?
Don't interrupt
There
Jim.
also seems to be a difference in the pattern of the rivers and canals.
Exactly. That's why I asked you to come here. Yet surely there cannot be a planet other than Apollo within the inner ones, which we have not yet discovered.
No, but...
Oh, gee whiz, make up your minds, will you? Is it Apollo or isn't it?
Jim, what's the matter with you?
Oh, gosh, Chief.
Be
The
quiet,
size and general formation seems very much like Apollo, Dr. Bloomfield.
Yes, but
Changes could very well have taken place when the planet was lost in space and drifting toward the moon, you know.
that's what I think. I really believe it is Apollo, Dr. Millison.
And so do I, but we might be mistaken. Where are the photographs we made of Apollo?
Over here on my desk.
I'd like to examine them again.
Oh, now where are we? First it was Apollo, and Superman and Mr. Kent were probably okay. Now it might not be Apollo, and we're right back where we started.
Well, now, Jim, that planet, whatever it is over 30 million miles away. And even this telescope, the most powerful in the world, can't perform the impossible.
Yeah, I know, but... Gosh, when I think about Mr. Kent and Superman,
I know. I feel that way, too. Well, while we're waiting, we may as well read Superman's letter.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
The
it.
time limit, he said, has passed, and we're not at all sure Apollo has been sighted again, so... well, where did I put that envelope?
Oh, haven't you got it?
Well, I don't seem to have
Well,
it.
look in your inside pocket.
I am. It's not here.
Oh, golly, what?
Now, take it easy. I must have left it on my desk. Yes, that's right, I did.
Phew, had me scared for a minute.
Oh, Dr. Millison, I hate to interrupt, but how long do you think you'll be?
Hard to tell, Mr. White. We're going to take some photographs of the planet now. It may be several hours, perhaps days, before we can positively identify it as Apollo or not.
Several days.
Well, in that case, we'll go back to the office. I want to read that letter of Superman's. Will you phone me when you come to a decision?
Yes, of course.
Oh, thanks. Let's go, Jim.
Leaving the observatory, Perry White and Jimmy Olsen start back to the Daily Planet. And a short time later, as Dr. Millison and Dr. Bloomfield work over their charts and photographs in the observatory, the door opens, and a tall figure in blue costume and red cape enters and strides swiftly toward them.
Good day, gentlemen.
Dr. Bloomfield, look,
It's Superman.
Right.
We've given you up. Tell me what happened.
Yes, what of Apollo? Tell us everything.
Apollo is all right now, but listen.
You mean this is Apollo that we now see beyond Mars?
It is.
Tell
but I
us
want...
what happened, how you did it, why you...
I'll tell you everything later, but first I've got to know about that letter I left with you, Dr. Millison. The one addressed to Mr. White. Where is it?
The letter?
Yes.
Oh, yes, the letter. I gave it to Mr. White.
You did? When?
Why, a couple of hours ago, at noon.
Great Scott, then he's read it. Then
I don't
they
know if he's read it yet. You see, White and Jim Olsen were about to when Dr. Bloomfield called us to come to the observatory.
And come to think of it, when they left here a little while ago, I overheard White say that they were going back to the Daily Planet to read your letter.
Oh, never mind the letter. Tell us.
Just a moment. How long ago did Mr. White and Jim leave here, Dr. Millicent?
Why, let's see. I'd say about an hour ago.
An hour ago. I just about have time to get back to the planet. If I'm lucky, I might still be able to get there before they read it. I'll use this window if you don't mind.
But wait, Superman.
You must tell us about Apollo.
Later. Right now, there's too much at stake. Up and away!
Leaping from the observatory, Superman streaks toward the Daily Planet with all the speed he can muster. Have Perry White and Jimmy Olsen read his letter, and so become aware of his real identity at last? We'll know in a moment when we return to the startling climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Say, gang, I don't know when I've gotten such a kick out of something, so many chuckles, as I have out of this brand new series of comic buttons that now come in packages of Kellogg's Pep. Those pictures of your old funny paper friends look so real they could talk. Take Casper, for instance. He's wearing a wide grin and looks as if he's going to tell a joke any minute. And Barney Google in his old-fashioned derby hat and popping eyes. Boy, he's bound to hand you a laugh. And Beezy and the little moose and Superman himself. Every single one of these 18 new Pep comic buttons is strictly terrific. Really worth collecting and wearing pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. Not to mention the swell fun in swapping duplicates with your pals. So, how about it, gang? Better remind Mom to get you plenty of Kellogg's Pep, because that's the only way you can get these exclusive prizes. You don't send in any money, not even a box top, and you can't buy them anywhere. But there's one of these nifty new comic buttons in every package of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Those crisp, tender whole wheat flakes with a catchy sunshine flavor. Makes mighty good eating for breakfast and mighty good for you. So ask Mom to get P-E-P, the Sunshine cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
Fearful that his friends at the Daily Planet may have read a letter which reveals his double identity, Superman streaks to the newspaper offices. Resuming the guise and garb of the mild-mannered reporter, Clark Kent, he draws a deep breath and enters Perry White's office just as the gray-haired editor is saying to Jimmy Olsen,
I can't understand it, Jim.
Oh, neither can I, Chief.
Can't understand why? I can't understand why the... good Godfrey! Jim, look.
Bleeps, it's...
Well, go on, Jim. Who?
It's you. Oh, boy, it is you, isn't it?
Why, of course it is. Oh, put it there, my boy. Put it there. Let me shake your hand. I want to make sure I'm not dreaming, and it really is you. I'm really who? Who am I?
Huh?
Oh, now, look here, Kent. If this is your idea...
Kent. You called me Kent?
Well, of course.
Oh, sure, of course. It's good to be back.
I still can't believe it. We've given you and Superman up.
Superman and me, huh?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Kent. Is there something the matter with you?
Oh, no. Just relieved, that's all. Look, I presume you didn't read the letter yet.
What letter?
The letter the letter Superman left with Dr. Millicent for you. He said he gave it to you today.
Yes, he did, but...
Where is it? I'd like to see it.
Oh, we can't. It's gone.
Gone?
It's disappeared. It's the strangest thing, Kent.
Disappeared? How?
Well, I thought, in fact, I was quite sure I left it right here on my desk when we rushed over to the observatory before. But when we came back, well, I just simply couldn't find it.
No, and we ransacked the office, too.
Great Scott, this is terrible. If that secret is revealed, if my enemies find out...
Huh?
What are you talking about, Kent?
I'm talking about that letter. We've got to find it, and quickly. If we don't... Well, this is about the worst thing that could ever have happened to me.
Puzzled, Perry White and Jimmy Olsen look at Clark Kent, who has turned very pale, fearful that the whole world, and particularly his enemies, may soon be in possession of the secret of his double identity. What has happened to the letter, and will Kent retrieve it before it is too late? Don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode, fellows and girls, when strange things happen. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time, same mutual station by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Crumbles. Crumbles, Kellogg's Crumbles. Say that over a couple of times. Just goes with toasty words like crisp, crunchy, crinkly, doesn't it? And that's just what Crumbles is, a toasty kind of cereal for a frosty morning, sort of sweet and mellow rich. And you know, gang, Kellogg's Crumbles is the only cereal in the whole wide world made in those crinkly shreds of real whole wheat. So good to eat and so good for you. Crisp, crunchy, crinkly. Crumbles, Kellogg's Crumbles. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
That was part 1 of The Secret Letter from The Adventures of Superman. Thank you for listening. Never miss an episode of Bat-Supe by subscribing on your favorite podcatcher. Bat-Supe, a proud member of the Moonlight Audio Theater family of podcasts, is also available on YouTube and Facebook and will soon be heard as part of the Mutual Audio Network's Saturday Story Circle. Learn more at bat-supe.podbean.com. Well, that'll wrap things up for this episode of Bat-Supe, but be sure to tune in next time when you'll hear Perry White say...
Kent, if you don't stop bushing about the beat, beating about the bush.
Have you ever asked a naturalized American how he or she feels about the business of voting? If you have, it's probably given you a whole new slant on the matter. To those men and women who were born in other countries, the right to vote is a precious privilege, and they line up before the voting booth on Election Day with the same high sense of pride and responsibility that one might feel upon being awarded some rare degree. Actually, the right to vote should give us all the same heady thrill. It is we, you and I, who determine the course of our country and the conditions of our own lives with those votes we cast on Election Day. Just one reminder, make sure your opinions will be counted. Make sure you cast your vote by being very sure to register. Registration days differ in varying localities. Check on the time in your community and get your name on the rolls. Then take advantage of all of America's media of communication for informing yourself on the issues involved. And then when Election Day comes, go to the polls with pride and responsibility and vote.